I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Rugged Ridge Exhaust Spacer Kit fitting all 2012 to 2016 JKs. This is for those of you who have 2.5 inches of lift or more on your JK and go off-road with the front sway bars disconnected and are in the need of a little bit more clearance between the drive shaft and the exhaust. These will move the exhaust and give you that additional clearance, so even at full droop and full articulation, the drive shaft boot won't contact the exhaust, causing it to melt and shorten the life of your drive shaft. This is a really simple part, but it gets the job done at a low price. As far as construction goes, these are a really simple part. They're just 2 pieces of flared exhaust tubing and the hardware you need to get them installed. All this does is go between 2 sections of your exhaust to give you a little bit of extra clearance where you need it. Getting these installed is pretty simple, but you might run into a couple of minor hiccups. Those of you guys who have worked on exhaust in the past know that it can get really rusty, especially if you're in the rust belt like we are, or if you take your Jeep off-road and it's caked in mud all the time. I would definitely recommend soaking the bolts that hold the clamps together well in advance of getting started with a good penetrating oil. That'll definitely speed up the process. The other issue that you might run into is once you have those bolts removed, getting enough space between the header and the Y-pipe to put these spacers in. It can be a little bit tight down there, but if you have some patience, you'll be able to get it done. So again, once you get rid of the 2 bolts that are holding the Y-pipe onto the header, you can use a large pry bar to give you enough space to put the spacer in. After that, it's just a matter of replacing the factory bolts with the longer ones that come in this kit, and you're done. I give yourself about an hour for this job because, like I said, you're probably going to have to wrestle with the exhaust a little bit, whether you have rust or not. As far as tools, all you need is a socket set, but some of the bolts can be a little bit difficult to get to, so I'd also recommend having some extensions and possibly a universal. As I said, and as you can see, this is a really simple part, and that's okay. It doesn't need to be any more complicated than this. And in my opinion, these are priced exactly where they should be. I've seen exhaust spacer kits that are more expensive and they're a very similar design, and I honestly don't know why they cost what they cost. If you're in need of an exhaust spacer kit, this is the one to go with. So Rugged Ridge suggests that you install one of these if you have 2.5 inches of lift or more and you go off-road, again, with the sway bars disconnected and you need that additional clearance. And that's definitely a good rule of thumb. But if you've installed the lift and you check your clearance and you don't have a problem, then maybe you don't need to install this kit. If you have shorter shocks, for instance, you might not have a clearance issue. However, if you do have that clearance issue and you need a little bit more space between the exhaust and the drive shaft, this is the kit to purchase. It's simple, it's priced fairly, and it's a fairly easy install, assuming you don't have any rust issues. So that's my review of the Rugged Ridge Exhaust Spacer Kit fitting all 2012 to 2016 JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.